when you see the global world, Lisbon is exactly in the middle of the world, regarding America, regarding Africa, and regarding Europe. Lisbon has a unique strategic position.
But Lisbon is the obvious springboard for Northern European or not European companies into Portuguese-speaking Africa or Brazil, due obviously to its historic ties. There's a cultural affinity. The language is largely the same.
There is the aspect of cultural connections that date back many, many years, and a cultural empathy between Portugal and its former colonies. And that, I think, for an international company that is interested in doing business in those African countries or Brazil is a great benefit.
I think, it's a gateway for many of these countries to Europe. So, their ability to access the larger markets of Europe from Brazil or Mozambique or Angola is clearly enabled by, let's say their relationship with Portugal, their ability, to get people that understand their business aspirations.
We think Lisbon would be the best location to handle the business between Portugal and those Portuguese-spoken country. In terms of transportation, in terms of language, and in terms of telecommunication and infrastructure.
I'd like to emphasise that there's great scope for British companies to use Portugal as a platform to do business in markets such as Brazil, Angola and Mozambique. We've been promoting initiatives to forge new partnerships between British and Portuguese companies in accessing international opportunities jointly. For example, the Olympic Games in Brazil in 2016.
So I imagine that companies from Scandinavia, Germany, Holland, who want to explore Portuguese-speaking African countries or Brazil, would do very well to use Lisbon as a hub or as a springboard for practical reasons.
So much commerce from those countries is actually coming into Portugal that there are very deep links between the two countries. And I think Portugal acts as a gateway to those emerging economies.
Mainly, we should look into activities that have exports, because being a country so much related with the outside, that would be the biggest advantage of companies coming here. It's producing here, installing here, but to go abroad, to go into Europe or to go outside Europe.
Well, we've seen quite a lot of shared service centers establishing in Lisbon.
The cost of space for office is also very reasonable.
Rental prices of office space, factory space, land is good value.
In my own sector, in commercial property, it's also one of the cities with the cheapest office accommodation. And that has been, in the case of some of our clients, has been the determining factor to settle a business here as opposed to in other markets like Poland, for example. So to summarize, you can buy really good real estate in a secure and transparent environment at low prices.
We have very good workers, we have good quality, a lot of investment in development, in new technologies. We have been investing in science, we have very good schools at this moment.
Very good level of people, very good level of university.
The encouraging thing really in a country where you want to broad base your operations is also the ability to attract young people. So I think in Portugal, especially in Lisbon, there is a very good quality of university education, good business and technical skills, and I think the ability to speak English.
We can recruit well-trained and highly educated staffs in Lisbon rather than other areas in Portugal.
A lot of people speak English, Spanish, French and Mandarin. Okay, you have a very good level of languages for all of the country.
It's a great place in terms of communication with all the major European cities and US city. The quality of the infrastructure, the IT and real estate infrastructure, and the quality of the regulatory environment, the fact that Portugal is within the European Union and within the Eurozone.
I'm convinced that people are more flexible than in France or in Germany. It's easier in Portugal to ask 100 workers or 200 workers when you have a high point of production, when you need to produce more. It's easier to be successful to do that than in France or in Germany.
Over the last decade, the UK has been one of the top 3 largest investors in Portugal. In 2010, the UK was the 3rd largest investor in Portugal. There are over 400 UK companies established in Portugal today.
I find it relatively easy to do business in Lisbon, in Portugal generally. And it's been made a lot easier in recent years through the so-called simplex anti-bureaucracy measures which have been taken over the years, and I can testify myself that my wife, for example, she set up a company literally within 40 minutes a couple of years ago.
One of our clients has a plant, a big plant, that will build another plant. Why Portugal? And it's one of the biggest companies in the world. Really, she made an objective study, and the conclusion was we have to put we have to put one more plant in Portugal, and not in Spain, and not in France. And France was in the target. Not in Spain, not in France, not in Italy, in Portugal. And for them, the question of the geographic position was a key point, because this plant is to make product for the States and for the American continent and for Europe too.
My goodness, the sun is shining today. It's nearly the end of September and it's 30 degrees outside, not a cloud in the sky. So I guess the first benefit is about really the quality of life. It's a very pleasant place to live.
I would say, you know, of all the choices that you have in Europe, Lisbon clearly is one of the best cities to live in. It's a fantastic place to work and enjoy yourselves, and therefore it surely is a great choice to make.
It's probably one of the best quality of life within the Eurozone.
I think that expat managers, the ones I know at least, enjoy living in Lisbon.
Lisbon is a very secure city. Very good level of security for children, for your family, and for the people who are working here.
But beyond that, there are also 2 very strong reasons. The first one is that we have been in Portugal since 25 years, so we sort of feel at home here. And the second one, I guess, is beyond my back.
But Lisbon, I think, is a very friendly city. It's a city with the right size.
I'm a really big fan of Lisbon. I've been here for a long time, almost 30 years, and I genuinely fell in love with the place when I arrived, when I was very young, with a rucksack and little else, and it's been very good to me. It's a place where I think the people are extremely friendly and hospitable.
I work for a multinational in consulting. When we decided to invest in Portugal, we reflect between Portugal and other country, East country. But it was one of the best decisions that we have taken, because is it possible to work very good in this country, to make money and to live very good? And my advice as a French man is to invite other people to do the same.
In summary, I have found the Portuguese market to be vibrant, full of opportunities, and a very welcoming place to do business.
Come, you won't be disappointed.
We wish you the same smashing success we had here.
Portugal is the west coast of Europe. We are here in the California of Europe. And my my advice, it's now the right moment, is now the right moment to invest in Portugal and in Lisbon.